So, okay, let's go through the practical session. So let me open my IntelliJ. So now I need to open. So I've, like, I have downloaded my IntelliJ and my code rather. So I need to go to the one for today. So where's that? 2019. Okay, this one. Cool. So like I said, you just need to open the POM. Okay, open as project, this window. Okay, cool. Okay, so I just want to be sure that this still works. Okay, cool. So I've got the 2 tests passed, basically. That's good. So okay, 2 scenarios, 2 scenarios and 2 passed. That's good. So that's brilliant. So okay, cool. All right, 1 minute. So I think you can. Okay, so let's go to terminal and let's try to use MVN test and see if that also will work. Okay, I'll need to address this one. So, okay, I need to address this one later. So MVN. Oh, okay. I think I know what this is basically, and I think I might need to put it in the POM. So don't worry about this anyway. So as long as we got working from using this one anyway, so I would do this POM later. All right, cool. So, okay. So now let's take this one after the other and try to. So I'm going to create another file. So another feature file. So let me call it we call it, okay, let's call it, oh, okay, sorry, I need to, there's a feature. Normally this doesn't work properly, so let's see. Okay, all right, cool. But I would advise you to always put dot features at the end. Sometimes it doesn't work properly. So if you use that approach, so this is what I'm saying. So let's say I say new file and I say Selenium. So dot features, dot feature. So that should just do it automatically for you. Right. Okay. So cool. So that should get that for you. So and now what do you do? So and as you can see, this previous one that we've done is go. What's that? So yeah, this one. You start with feature, scenario, and so that's what you need to type basically. So and start with feature. So and once you start writing it, this is very good. But if you are looking for work, I would say even if you are clicking on it, know what you are clicking on because you might be asked to say how it looks like. Feature. So what is a feature? So then you put, let's say, git commands. No, sorry, Selenium command. Okay. So the first thing that we want to do, let's say scenario. Is still going to go back to BGD because there's still some other areas that we've not actually addressed. So like scenario outline, we'll do that next week. So scenario, what do we want to do? For next week, you're going to go to BDD. We're going to do on data driven, how you can do data driven. Now we've now understood how we can use different Selenium commands. So that's what we next week, basically, we're going to do data driven. Then upper week, we're going to change most of these things and then we're going to use page objects. So it's going to be a bit advanced. So I don't want to complicate issues. That's why I started with this simple approach. So, but in the next 2 weeks, it's going to be page object. Then after that, then assertion, that would be us basically finished this session. Okay, so scenario. So let's say we want to do the commands navigations. Let's go to okay. So okay, so oh, so okay, that's good. Navigation. Okay. So we've done this one before, so I don't need to do this again. So locating, I think we've done location before. Don't need to do those ones. This is kind of similar. So okay, I think someone mentioned what is a DOM basically. So let's say we go to Blue Sky Citadel. I think this is what the form that we used. Okay, so now this is basically your all those elements here are in your DOM basically. Yeah. So all these are your DOM basically. So all this one. So if you search inside your DOM, so let's say from, okay. Okay. So upper link, think we've done the upper link. We've done, okay, we're going to look into this second. Okay. So let's say we start with, so let's say we need to do the get commands in Selenium, basically. So, and how do we do that? So the first one, let's try to navigate to a page. So, and what I'm going to copy and paste the previous one like this. So someone actually asked me this morning or this afternoon, basically. Like when I copy a code, a line of code from a feature file, and I paste it into another one, what do I need to do next? And I said there's nothing basically. So as you can see, it is already mapped. That is the joy of uh, BDD basically, or maybe SpecFlow or Cucumber. So you don't need to do anything because you already have that particular line and it's been mapped with your step definition. Everything is seamless. You don't need to do anything again. So as you can see, I just copied that line and I paste it there. And if I run this code now, it would navigate to that particular page for me. Let's go there quickly. So if I, okay, if I run this, yeah, as you can see, that's it, basically. So it will just do that. So the next thing that I'm going to also copy is my close. So I need this. So as well. I've got the giving and navigate and the close. So last week we also did this one. So if you go to implementation of that. So we did the close. So as well, this is going to close that particular window. And if you have lots of windows that you need to close, it's the same way. You just need to say dot quit. So like I said, I've mentioned the difference between both of them. So one will close your browser, the one browser. And if you have other browsers already opened, the quit will close everything. So basically, if you use only the close, that will close only one. So if you use the quit, it's going to close all the browser that particular screen, that session of WebDriver has opened. That is okay. So so let's go back to get command. So inside that, we want to get the URL. Okay. So let's say giving and navigate when, let's say, and so before we move to another page, we want to be able to check if you're on the right URL. And I say I get the URL title. Okay. And we want to also want to get, and I get URI, get the, okay. So this is some of those things that you can get. The title. Okay, we'll look. I think all these fine elements, I'm going to skip that. We'll see if you have a page with a frame. We're going to go into that and a lot as well. So yeah, current URL source. I'm going to go through this also. So, okay, and I get the current. Current page. So, okay, that is this one. So let's get the page source. Okay. So now let's go to a page that we've already known before. So when I click on, so let's go to this testing form. But for this one now, we're going to go to the testing form, and we go to the location. We navigate to that location. We get the page URL. We get the page form. We get the page source. So we can maybe in the next 2 weeks, you can also assert basically to actually check that we actually on that page. We are using assertion, but we just want to get the URL, and that should be fine. Then after that, we navigate to the testing form page. And when we get there, we are going to now we're going to come to this. We need to get a text. Actually, we want to use something that we can get text for. So let's say we are here now. I want to get this particular text. I want to get this particular text. So form title. So, and in most cases, all these things like this will go into your assertion when you're working. So it might be in the then clause basically, but this is just like kind of um, tutorials to go through or how we're going to use all this particular assertion. It doesn't matter where you put them anyway, it's going to work, but I'm talking about at work, you want to do your assertion on the then clause basically, not on the given or when. So then also we want to get the attribute of this particular of the, let's say, get attributes of, let's say we already have this one anyway. So let's get the attribute of this particular text. Let's check. Yeah. Let's get attribute of this. So okay. So that's how to get the attribute of an element. So I think that is fine. So we're going to go to that one. So, and we also will try to get the undo of that window as well. Let's put that in our given clause. Okay. I want to get the undo of the window. So we leave the switch for now, so we can open a new tab and switch to it, but let's leave this one now. So we've already done this and this one. We come back to this one later. If you have any question, you can type your question and I would answer them. So actions, so clear. Okay. So let's say we want to, let's say we type something in the, let's say we type something in the password and we play it. So the password. Okay, so that is what we want to do there. So just to clear the password. And okay, so let's say we want to just refresh the page. So let's say, okay, so let's say here, I want to navigate back. After navigating back, I want to come back again and I navigate. Okay, so that should cover that one. So I think this one I've already done this one. Some key assumptions. Okay, this we can. Okay, let's do a bit of the assertion. Before you close, you can confirm and so let's say you click on submit button. Let's say I click on the submit button here. Okay. So we can validate that this is displayed basically when you clear and you move away basically. You can even validate that this is displayed. So and let's try to check that also. And the error let's say the password error message. Password. So that should cover this particular one. Okay. So and enable this get attributes. I've covered that one. Okay. All right. Cool. Let me see if there's any question. Okay. Everyone seems quiet. That's okay. All right, so okay, so these are the things that we want to do quickly. Okay, so the first one is for us to refresh. So what I'm going to do is I would first get everything. No, I'm not looking for scenarios. Sorry. So I'm looking for a different one. Okay, so that's, I'm looking to get this one actually. So yeah, so create all, right? Step definition. I would want to put it here. So let's just put it in the same place. Okay. All right. So now we have all these step definitions here, basically. So which is good. So we're going to look at them one after the other. Okay. The first one that we want to look into is the refresh. Okay. For the refresh, so let's do what you want to do is driver. We know that dot. I think like the, I don't know who actually mentioned that. So the first thing you put the dot, right? Let's say I don't know what I need to check. I know that there should be refresh. So I'm going to just scroll down. So, and look at refresh. So it's not there. So, okay, what do I need to do? The next one is basically just Google, right? Selenium refresh page. Okay, so Stack Overflow or Google 90. So let's say Stack Overflow. So someone will have got the same issue and tell you what you need to do. Driver, navigate, refresh. Basically, that's what you need to do. Just copy that or just navigate that. So that's how to actually address it. So for those guys that said, okay, yeah, I don't know what to do. Do I need to cram this? For interview, yes, you might need to cram it to know where to go to. But if you are working, you don't need to cram all these things. So if you are able to know that it's navigate, then you can see other ones are here basically. So you text refresh. So let's do the back and forward as well at the same time. So I've got the forward. So driver dot navigate and dot forward. So then let's go to the back one. Driver dot navigate dot back. Okay, so that will take the back and the forward. So the next one that we want to do is to get the URL. The same way also you can do that as well. You can Google it and say, I want to get the URL of a page. What do I need to do? So what do I need to do? You just say, Google is your friend, to be honest. So Selenium get page. You can see get page source, get page title, get page content. So let's say it's URL I'm looking for. So you might also want to add Java. Okay, let's look at this Stack Overflow. So more often in Stack Overflow, you will see the question. Someone that's got the same problem like you've got, and then you scroll to the bottom. Someone will provide the solution. Okay. So, however, you got this one. So this is what you are looking for. So, and you say I'm assessing the correct, it doesn't appear to actually reflect where I am, basically. So someone has got this problem says it doesn't reflect where he is. So, and when you read it, this says private channel, you can avoid it. Okay, I think it came back to say, okay, it's because of the weight or something like that. So that should work. So that's what you need to do. So basically, so when you copy that, so you can paste that like that. So that should do the magic for you. You can print it out basically. So and URL. So let's say we now print it out basically after we got it. So we print the URL so that it gets that for us. So the same way we're going to do, oh, sorry, that one is the URL. That one is the title. We copy this one. So this one is the URL one. We paste it here. So, and this one is a title. So the same way, just go and Google it out as well. So, and say get page title, Selenium Java. So you can see get page title with Selenium Java using, oh, that's good. So look at that. So, and this is guy, and the guy is even doing the assertion for you. We are not looking at assertion now, basically, but saying get title is what you're looking for. So, or this is basically the assertion. So if you don't, you can, let's copy all of them, but we don't need the assertion basically. So let's only do this. Okay, so that is that. So we can as well just print it out. So we don't need to. So yeah, we don't even need the expected one. So this is basically comparing both of them. So we only need to store it and then print it out basically. So that's what we need to do. So I just copy this one and print it out basically. So and then we need to print out the short title. So that's how just print it out on terminal. So the next now, if you have any questions, so please do type it, so which is fine. So the page source is the same thing as well. Oh, okay, cool. String URL. So I think, to be honest, I don't think I need to do this, but you might need to go and watch the video for Java. So, and okay, I will just quickly mention this actually. So, but you might need to watch the video. So, and let's even say what is, okay. Okay, so this is a good example. String is a sequencer, so but that's what you are looking for, but not totally. So, and string literal, this is what you are talking about. So, and a string is basically like you've seen at the top is any sequence of characters. So, and like I know from what I've got here, my URL will be a string, and I need to store that URL in a string. So what I've done is now to call that particular name your URL. So I can say my URL basically if that it's just a different name that I can call it my URL. Just call it a name that you are able to identify with it. So, but because it's a string, you need to declare it as a string. So you just need to say string is equal to that. So this you don't need to worry, to be honest, for now. And but it's basic Java code actually. So we might not use, yeah, we will use this, but I will teach you in a kind of easy way actually. But one thing that you need to know is that we have different data types that we are going to be using. So the string, string, also integer. So there are also list. As you can see, list as well. And so I'll just do that. You also will have Boolean. You also have, yeah. So in terms of standard data type, basically, let me remove this, basically. String, integers, and Boolean. That's what you are going to. But other one, there are floats, double, and everything like that. So, but with these are the simple one that you will be working with more often, actually. So I would be talking to you about this as we go along. So, but this one basically from the question, get driver dot get URL will return a string, like sequence of characters for you, and then you need to store it in this particular variable, and of course the variable needs to be declared as a string. So that is basically what you are doing, and here we are just trying to print it out, print it on your terminal. So what I've stored in my URL, I want to print it out. Hope that is okay. Okay. Hope that is understandable. Oh, that's fine. So, okay. The next one is I get the page source. So, same way also, we know it's going to be a string. It's going to be page source. We call it page source. Is equal to what? Driver dot. So, we're going to say get page source. Okay. So we can decide to print it out, but I'm not going to because it will be lots actually. So, or let's print it anyway, system. Okay, all right, cool. Okay, all right, so that is the page source. So the next one that we need to look into now is page undo. Okay, so we're going to also store that in a string as well. Okay, so that is the same. So we can print it out as well. So let's just copy this one. Sorry, 1 minute. So. Okay, all right, cool. So let's replace this one with this. Okay, all right, so that is that. So the next one is the form, is the page form, is that particular form, the title of it. This is a bit different. So what we are looking for is to get the text of that particular page. So let's say we are on this page now. We want to confirm that this is the text. Basically, we want to get the text that is displayed there. So, or perhaps maybe this is even better. Let's get this particular, is it error text that we said we're going to get? So let's see. Okay, this is form page title. Okay, so let's do that then. Where's the form page title? So, okay, so let's go. So we just need to inspect the element. So this is the element. So copy. So let's say we copy. Okay, so we don't need to, I think let's try to use the class at this time, basically. I think the class should be different. So we'll find this element and we find, so the class is entry title. So just to show you another way of finding elements, because last week we've used the CSS and the XPath, but this time around the class, that's what we want to use. Find it by class. So what you just need to do is driver dot find element I dot class name. So what's the name of the class? So that's it. So after you found it, what do you need to do? You need to get text. So if you want to get a tag, as you can see, that's how to get a tag. So, but we need to save this. This one right now is going to return a string for us. So what do you need to do? We need to store a string in a variable. So we put a string there and we store it in a variable. We say page title, page from title. And we can. So what can we do? We can print it out as well. Yeah, sense. Okay, so that is that. So then after that, so what do you need to do? So, okay, quickly. So the next one that we need to do is the attribute. It's the same way basically. So we can do the same thing. Instead of the get text, we can get a attribute of that particular element. So let's just do this basically. So we want to get attributes. Attributes. So which attribute do we want to get? So we want to, let's look at that. So let's say is class. We want to get the attribute, the class attribute. I think it should return that one. So this is, we can change this one to from attribute. Okay. So this is also, we've done this one before as well. So type in the password. So we just need to select inspect the elements of the particular password. So this is the element. So let's try to think we've know the ID. Let's use the name. Let's use the name. We've selected username. That's the name. Okay, so then of course we want to type you send keys, right? So what do you want to send keys? My password. So let's copy this because from what you said, next one, we want to clear it after we type it. So to clear it, we just need to do the same thing. That is the element, but we just need to say dot clear. So basically everything that we've typed inside will just be gone. So then we want to click on submit button. Is there any submit button on the form? Let's go down. Okay, there's submit button there. So want to click on the submit button. What's happened to my right click? So yeah, even if you don't use right click, you can also use this particular button and click on that. That should take you to that. So okay, copy. Okay. So that's path. Okay. So driver dot find element by. So that's just path. Then of course, what do you want to do? You want to click on it. Okay. All right. So that is that for that. So basically, so the next one that we've done the back, we've done the forward. So we want to confirm that this one is displayed. We want to confirm that this, let's say even this error message, basically this error message instead. So what do you need to do? Right click inspect. So this is the error message. So we want to confirm that that is displayed. Copy, let's use CSS for this one. So we want to say string. So okay, let's say driver first. I'll slow by little find element by dot. What did we say? CSS selector. That's my selector. But now what do you want to get? You want to get the text of that particular element. So that you use dot text. So this one will return a text for you, basically. So this one will return a text for you. So what do you want to do? You want to store that in a string. So string. So what do we call it? Let's call it error message. So what you would do is you would confirm that error message is equal to nothing. There's nothing stored in that, basically. Because if there's nothing stored in that, that would be good. But this is going to store, this is one way to do it. But sorry, apologies, even this is not what we are supposed to do, basically. So because this is only saying that it displayed. However, this is also good because this one is going to actually get the text for us. But two ways. Yeah, you can get the text and you can confirm. So this one will get the text. You can now assert the text to be sure that, okay, there's nothing there. But if you want to actually just confirm that the text is displayed, it's the same way, but without the get text. So what you can do is now, instead of that is displayed that we've seen. Let's say dot. If you scroll out, let's say is displayed. That's what you're looking for. So that would return true or false for you, basically. If that element here is displayed, it's going to be true. If it's not, it's going to be false. So what we can say is like we are going to get a boolean. So we store that in that boolean. So this is message. Okay, so that is that basically. We can as well just display them. Let's say we can print them out. System. So that would display that. So, and you can do the same one here. So let's say error message there. So this one will display the error message and this one will display the true or false for that one. So basically that's it for tonight. So, and I will try to run it. So no, okay. So meaning for every step definition there will be printout. No, not necessarily. This is basically like a kind of tutor for us to be able to, as you can see, the one that we did last time, there's no printout, right? So it doesn't mean that for every step definition you have to have a printout. This hasn't got a printout. This hasn't got a printout. There's no printout. The one that I've put a printout is the one that I actually want to see what is there. So in a normal situation, you will put an assert to confirm it, but we've not actually done assert right now. So I'm just trying to show what those variables are. Like for instance, this one, I just want to see what exactly is stored in the page attribute form. Then let's print it out. Let's show it basically. Let's see what is stored there. So that's the purpose. As time goes on, we might have to remove it because it's not needed. You don't need to display it basically. Hope that is clear. So, okay, so another question. So does that mean you can copy experts, etc.? And yeah, that you can use anyone, but like I said, the first one that you need to use is your ID, basically. That's what. So then followed by CSS selector, then XPath. I don't know what you mean by HTML, so you don't need that. So I don't, so the next one is, does it matter when we don't have the error message in the feature file? I don't know what that means. So if you don't have the error message in your feature file, if you can rewrite that, I don't know what that question means. The code run if you don't store it in a variable. It means you don't add. Okay, all right, cool. So that's a good question. Would the code run if you don't do that? Yes, the code will still run, basically. For instance, if I do something like this, right, and I put this in a code, and I comment this one out, and I comment this one out, the code will still run, basically. But what does that mean? It's going to get the attribute for you. But what do you do with the attribute? Nothing, basically. Right? You don't do anything with it. So I'm only putting that so I can store that particular variable and I can show it or display it what is there basically. But you might not need to do this if you know what you want to do that for. Basically, maybe you want to type it, you want to assert it, different way to you can basically you can do whatever you want to do with it. But right now I am getting that variable, I am only printing it out. That's what I want to use it for this particular purpose. But you can as well just type it or display it or do whatever you want to do with that particular variable. So if you want to use that variable somewhere or anywhere, you might need to store it in a place, basically save it somewhere. And I used to teach the children age 5 to 13 coding actually, and I think I mentioned it. I really enjoyed it actually. So it's basically one of the time I was teaching them variables basically. Some of them actually will explain this actually. What is variables? So what do you use it for? And they are actually saying the purpose of using variable is to store something at real time. I think one of them actually also mentioned that variable is something like your pocket. You used to save something. Like when your dad give you pocket money, you put in your pocket. You can spend it. It's going to your money is still in your pocket, but it's going to be reduced. So basically, this is kind of like a variable that you use to store anything. At this point, I am using it to store attributes. At this point, I've called my variable page form. I'm using it to store the page title, basically, and that's it. So the error generated on the login page is not in the BDD. Okay, all right. So this is just a test. It's not comprehensive, basically. So there will be other things. If you need to capture the test on the login page, yeah, of course, you can do the same thing. So like I've done right now. So you can use that approach, basically. I'm just going through a different examples that you can do. So if that is fine, so are you going to deal with calendar or date picker selections? Okay, all right, cool. That's a good question. So we'll try. The date picker is easy. Calendar is a bit difficult. We'll try to look into that. Let me see if we have that on the form. So date picker. Okay, we'll look for a form for that. So still need to do the combo or the drop down basically. Maybe that will be next week. So yeah, will remind me about the date picker. That is easy. Just send keys and put the date in there. So, but calendar could be different if you want to select specific calendar for that particular time and date. But if you just want to select anyone that comes, that one is easy. Basically, it's not difficult. Okay. All right. So, okay. So now let's just try to run the code. Then we call it a night. So hopefully it runs. If it doesn't run, we'll fix next week. Okay. So it said slash sheet is not present. T list. Then okay, this might have been added in error. All right, let's check what is done. Okay, so the test failed. Let's check. So unable to find that one. So unable to locate that element. So that is what we have. So which is, and the password error is displayed. Okay. All right, let's check what the issue is. So password error is displayed. Where's the password? So I think that should be this one. So go to, so yeah, so this is what it's looking for. So okay, all right, so what we need to look into is the fact that, okay, so the password, yeah, there's no error message here. Basically, I think that's the issue. So but that is what we are looking for. Yeah, that's what we are looking for, but it's not displayed. So let's see if the submit button is clicked. So we need to click on the submit button to get that error message, basically. So that is the issue. Where is the submit button? And I click on the submit button. Okay. Go to, okay. All right, 1 minute. So let's go to, so click on the submit button. So let's put a breakpoint here and try to run it. So, and so that we'll see what happens. And I want to put a breakpoint. Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense, actually, because we've navigate back and forth. So, which is not right. So let's put the back and forth to the top, actually. So because we've navigated back and forth, and then after you click on the submit button, so that's the issue. So the error message will not be displayed because the submit button is clicked, and then you navigate back, you came back again. So if you do that, so I will show you this what we've done. So we came here, we went back, we navigate back, and we came back again. So if you do that, so without, I think, yeah, it didn't actually display that. So let's try to run it now. Okay, as you can see, so this is what we have. So we have that, right? Okay, cool. So, and that should be, that is displayed. So we already cleared the form because that is what we asked it to do. So if you continue, resume, let's go one after the other, step into. Oh, what have I done? Okay. So that is fine. So let's continue. Yeah, okay. That is fine then. Okay, it's still complaining about this one. So I'm gonna push it. So and then I think you guys can look into that. So it's okay. So this is where we're going to start now. So we're going to stop rather. So as you can see, it's even if your code is not working. So as you can see, the last one I've done, this is the an issue. Where's that one? This particular one is not able to find it. So we need to look into why it's not finding that error message. Basically, it might be a case of wait. So when it's being clicked. So, but that's the error that we have. So yeah, any question before we go? So what I can say is if you go to this URL now, you should see the latest code. Yeah, git command. So, oh, that's a git command. Selenium command I wanted to say. Okay, so that is the code for today. You can download it. You can. So if you can't fix it, do fix it on your own. Then, so that would be your assignment actually. So try to fix the code and see if you're able to do that. Ask next week. So then also you would look at other commands and play with other commands as well. So I'm looking for someone to also look into clicking all the forms. Oh, so create, this is okay. Assignment is for you to now create your page or your Selenium code. So share the link with everybody, with myself using admin. So what you need to do now, so assignment now, after if you try to fix that, so assignment is going to be, so go to our page, automate or like that. I mean, enter text. Okay, so that would be the assignment for today. Any question before we go? Okay. All right, that's it, everyone. So I'll see you again next week. So thank you so much. So.